Hi, and welcome to another episode of Piano TV, the Halloween edition. So for our second video in this full Halloween week series, we're going to learn a piece by Beethoven. We're going to learn the introduction to his Sonata Pathetique, and it's a really hard song. So we're only going to learn like just a tiny bit of the intro, like 1 minute of the full 20-minute version. But that's okay, because I mean, even though we're not learning the whole thing, that's totally fine. It's a really hard song. You might as well just kind of do what you can when you can. And plus the intro itself is very frightening. And it uses a lot of diminished chords that we talked about in the previous video. So if you missed that, definitely click on the screen and check out what diminished chords and diminished sevenths and all those are all about. Anyway, let's hop to it. All right, so backstory time. Now, this is Beethoven's 8th sonata. It's in C minor, and it's opus 13. And it was written in about 1798 when Beethoven was 27 years old. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. When I was 27, I wasn't writing sonatas. What am I doing with my life? The sonata is nicknamed Pathetique because it's so sad and devastated sounding, and you will, if you listen to the full version, you'll definitely hear that. It is about 20 minutes long in full. It has 3 movements, and like I mentioned a minute ago, we're only going to learn just a fraction of the introduction. So let's hop to the piano and hear what that sounds like. Okay, so let's look at the learning points in this song. So first of all, here's our key signature. Now, this isn't a key signature that we've looked at before, but we can still figure out what it means. So if you look at where the flats are located, you have one on the B line, one on the E space or line, and then an A flat as well. So this is just telling you that throughout the entire song, keep your eyes peeled for any B's, E's, or A's, and make sure you play them as flat, unless you have these fun little symbols here called naturals, which effectively cancel any sharps or flats. The Italian in this song, there's just a few little ones. So grave, not grave, grave, basically means to play really slow and solemn. So somewhere around 50 beats per minute if you like specific numbers and examples. And then we have con pedal, which just means play with pedal in the normal syncopated way. So just keep your ears open. You're going to be lifting your foot a lot. Basically anytime the chord changes a lot. So if I were holding the pedal, I would hold here. I'd probably lift there. Like there's going to be quite a bit of lifting. Lastly, the dynamics. So when you have F and P sitting together like this, it basically is what it looks like, forte piano. And it just means to press the first notes really loud. Like, so you'd press these nice and loud, and then the remaining notes would be a lot quieter. So it just creates like a dramatic contrast, kind of like an accent. Okay, so let's go hunting for diminished chords. So here in the second measure, we have a diminished seventh, and since the bass note is an F sharp, it's going to be an F sharp diminished seventh, because if you look at the notes, you have F sharp, A natural, which is 3 semitones. If you think about it, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, that's 3. That's my attempt at singing semitones. And then we have a C, A to C is a 3 semitones, and then E flat. So that's our first diminished seventh, and as you probably heard in the recording, there's like a million. Here's another very apparent diminished seventh. So E flat in the bass, and then we have F sharp, which is 3 semitones, and then A natural, and then C. So this is actually the exact same 4 notes that we had in the first diminished chord. It's just they're rearranged in a different order. The sheet music arrangement of this introduction sounds exactly like the original, with the exception of this end little descending scale part. So in the original, if you listen to the recording, you'll notice that the notes move really, really fast and there's just like more of them. So I just simplified it. It still sounds pretty good. And I mean, you can always learn the harder version later or whatever you want, but this is just simply a descending E flat major scale that ends in just like a nice little 3-note seventh chord. So follow the finger numbers. It's just like playing a scale. And just a couple parting notes on how to practice this. So nothing we haven't really talked about before, but I think it's really useful to, even though the tempo marking is grave, I would play it even slower just to figure out the notes, because there's no use in practicing it wrong, right? So try to make it so that you play it at a speed where you make as little mistakes as possible. One thing that I did when I practiced this too is I just learned it one line at a time, and I didn't move on until I really had a feel for that line. And I also turned on the metronome to an 8th note beat of about 90, and then I just counted in my head 1 E and 2 E and followed along like that. So I could really get the rhythm in my head. And then I removed the metronome after a couple minutes once it was in my head. But I think that's a really useful idea too, just so you're not guessing with the rhythm. Like, it should sound flexible to a point. Like, you don't want it to just be like super random. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have fun practicing this song. And to find the sheet music and everything else, you can visit pianotv.net and subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with more videos and stuff, including the next Halloween video that we're gonna do. Anyway, take care. Toodaloo. Okay, it's okay. Just got a little bumped. Oh, that's the noise when I accidentally start hitting, like, oh.